up.
You're just packing up? All right, we are going to Miami today, and it is Jack's first flight in his own seat, his own paid seat, and we're excited about our trip. Daddy actually has to go for work, and Jack and I are tagging along for the first time ever, and we're very excited because Jack and JC have been able to tag along on some work trips for me, but this is our first time with Daddy. And you want to take your owls?
Yeah.
Show everybody your owls.
Owl.
Oh, that's only half of it. Where's the other guy? Show him the little one.
That one is the
That one's little? I think there's a smaller one.
and the
Yeah, right there. Okay, you ready to go?
yeah.
Yay! We are waiting on Dad. Our flight's at 9. Hopefully we should be fine. Right, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay. So far we have this packed up. I've got the baby carrier, the Becco, my bag, my suitcase. Okay, and the Uber is here. What do you have? Ramen noodles?
Noodle soup.
Noodle soup.
Oh, okay. Hey, we'll figure that one out at the airport.
You playing with your belly button? Okay. Noodle soup on the plane, but you can get it when you're in Miami, okay? And this is your 35th flight, but your first time in your very own paid seat. Are you so excited? Chose the window seat. Oh, you're gonna buckle it? Okay, let's see if you can figure out how. Normally I don't like to sit in the back of the plane, but this is actually really nice. We already went to the bathroom, we're all settled in our seats. We are next to each other and we don't have anybody else around us. Well, nobody next to me or him. I made the ramen noodles that he wanted all day in a frying pan because I couldn't find a pot. And he's very happy about it. What's happening? Good morning, Bubba's. What are you watching?
I'm gonna
What are you eating?
rocket.
Cheddar rocket. While Jack is playing with his ice creams and eating tiny cheddar rockets that he's finding, crumbs, I am getting some work done. Fun.
Look, Mama dirty. Look, Mama dirty. Dirt.
Oh, there's dirt on your sleeve? That's okay. It's 7 p.m. and he's still napping. I kind of woke Jack up because now we have to go to dinner. Sushi was good, but now it's time for ice cream. What are you drawing?
Ice cream cones.
So many ice cream cones?
Yeah, I draw another ice cream.
Well, good morning, sunshine. Did you turn on that light by yourself?
In my bed.
In your bed? Are you a little monkey jumping on the bed? Let's start our day.
Yeah.
You know it's almost 10:30 a.m. We took the bus to get Shake Shack. The bus ride was This is gonna be really good. We finished up lunch, it was great, and now Jack and I found a fountain at Lincoln Road Mall. We're gonna go play in it, or with it, around it. We are in the Uber and now Jack wants to go to the beach, but we have to go to the hotel first, change your shoes, and then we can go down to the beach even though it's pretty cold, right?
Yeah.
And everybody else is working and you're just relaxing, but it's hard to actually completely relax. I have this problem where I can't completely unwind and I feel obligated to work. But yeah, what's that? That's right. But I think that's the good thing about motherhood. It's really taught me to stay grounded and to try to achieve some balance instead of working all of the time, to actually be able to relax a little bit. I was able to work on the computer a little bit this morning, but it's really just nice to be able to kind of dedicate time to just spending with Jack because he's going through so many changes right now and I don't fully get to appreciate that when I'm at home and I have my studio there and I feel complete obligation to work. I think it's a little easier for me to be somewhere else, and even if I'm doing a little bit of computer work here and there, then I do feel somewhat accomplished. But I do still feel that like push and pull where I can't decide if I'm doing the right thing. But whoa, did you just throw sand all over yourself? Anyway, so I just wanted to share that. All that being said, of course, I do feel extremely fortunate and very lucky to be able to have such flexibility and spend time with Jack and be able to take him on travels. I know that a lot of people don't have that luxury, so I do feel very, very blessed. And I'm so glad I get to take you guys along for the ride too. What'd you say?
I love that.
You love the shovels? What happened? Is it nap time?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go take a nap. You're so sad. The beach was getting too cold, so we came inside the hotel and we found a fancy bathroom. Didn't we?
Yeah.
Were you saying fancy, fancy?
Fancy, fancy.
This is a view. Do you want to eat out here?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Georgie, that's a nice sandcastle, isn't it? Oh no! Oh no!
Again.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay. We've done this for 15 minutes straight. Do you love tubby time?
Yeah.
Okay, buddy, I think it's time to get out of tubby.
No.
How many more minutes? 2 more minutes, okay. You done with your tubby? Was that a good one? Okay, come here. All right, we're gonna get ready for bed, right? You gotta brush your teeth. We gotta put lotion on. Lotion. And then we'll have a good night. Jumping to the studio, I stopped the trip portion of the video there, and we'll have a follow-up going from Miami to Naples, but wanted to do a flip through of the traveler's notebook that I took along. When I got home, I did get to print out some photos, as you can see here, and I did get to work on this book a little bit, showing off my Better Together collection. I can link to that video as well if you haven't seen that yet. But I went ahead and, while I was on the trip, tried to catch up with as much journaling with watercolors and my pen as much as possible. I also was able to clip some magazine cutouts too, and I used the Winwood letterpress bag that I got, receipts from Freshie where we went for lunch, the taxi receipt. I just keep a bunch of stuff. So here's where I messed up, because really what should have happened was I should have gone from here to this page. I needed to leave some pages empty, and then after that showcase what we had for dinner. But it's what happened, and I'm okay with it, and I think it's fine. I added some things that make me happy, and then I have it going to the next day. I think chronologically is the best way to do a trip journal like this, but ultimately it really doesn't matter. So I want to embellish this page a little bit more where we went to lunch, and I have a few more pages to do for Naples. The first thing I'm going to start out doing is just drawing the words Shake Shack with this Micron 05. Now, I've used this style lettering for a long time. I think I remember practicing it when I was in grade school, maybe in junior high more so. Hand lettering is something I've always been into. I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. I love practicing my handwriting too, so I'm just going to journal this. And a lot of times my handwriting changes every time I put pen down to paper, but I think it's most important to get your thoughts down. I think so many of the times I put off journaling or put off doing stuff, and really I just need to get right to it. Here is a scrap piece of tape that I found on my desk. I tend to also keep little things that I think I'm going to use, and I want to get into the habit of just sticking it down if possible. Because there's a little crease here, I'm going to cut it in between so it lays nice and flat, and then recenter this or readjust this so that it can continue on this page. Now I've got my sticker album from Better Together, and I'm going to choose this pink sticker to put in this blank space. Now I didn't know I was going to put that pink sticker there, but I have that empty space, so this will be a good filler. I want to trim off that little edge that hangs off. This gives me an element on the right side to balance off the pink on the left side. Now when I'm choosing my stickers, I just like to go through and see what appeals to me and see if I can work it in. So as I'm flipping through here, the True Story sticker looks cute, and because that red stripe matches the red on the drink and above in the XOXO, I think this looks really good. I think it's done. So what I want to do now is actually my favorite part. I love working on the cover. This stamp set is by Kelly Perky, and it's called Williamsburg. And I have an idea to stamp the title on the front cover, but I want it to be a little bit subtle. At first, that's what I thought. I kind of wanted it tone on tone, and then I could embellish with brighter embellishments. But then after I grabbed this and set up the Miami, I changed my mind and decided to use Zing embossing powders. This is something I do a lot for clients, but I haven't really shown you guys how it's done. And I'm sure a lot of you know already how to use it, but I thought it'd be fun to play with and experiment a little bit and do a colorful cover for this trip. So I'm putting the Miami stamps, MIA, onto the acrylic block, and then I'm dabbing it down onto this Versamark ink. what I want to do is place it. So deciding on placement, I have something in my head, but I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. So I like to just visualize and kind of hover over the areas that it could go. And then once I'm ready, I just press down. And this is one of those things where I don't always end up in the right spot, but I go with the flow. Next, I just grab a scratch piece of paper and I fold it into half. I saw this technique, I think a long time ago. Kelly Perky actually showed it on some TV show that she was on, and I got really intrigued by how easy it was to use and accessible. Opening up the container of embossing powder and just pouring it right on top to cover the MIA. And then I always put the cap on because I'm pretty clumsy, but you don't have to because you're going to put the powder right back in. So I'm just shaking it off and tapping it so that the excess comes off. And once I have good coverage, then I want to open this back up and simply take the piece of paper, fold it a little bit so that I have the crease that can fit right into the jar, and all of the powder can just seep right in. So this is a really easy way to use embossing powder. I've seen different techniques. Jennifer McGuire does something similar, but she has this fancy container, which is cool, but I don't have it, so I just thought that this would be the easiest thing to do. All right, so I want to continue the word Miami, and so I just took off the A, and I'm going to stamp the MI portion right underneath here. Once I know it's down, then I do the same process as before, sprinkle some embossing powder down, and then what I've noticed is that there's a little bit excess kind of sticking around the M and the I, so I'm just taking a paintbrush and brushing the I guess crumbs, I would call it, but the excess embossing powder off. All right, here is the Zap heat gun by American Crafts. I have it turned on because I want to let it warm up for about 30 seconds before I put it to my paper. While that's warming up, I'm going to go ahead and set up the rest of the title, which is the asterisk and Naples. So I'm mounting it, and I thought I wanted everything right justified, but you'll see in a second what actually happens. Now that the heat gun's ready, I'm going to take it and put it just about an inch or two away from the paper and wave it around gently. You can kind of see it crystallizing there. I don't know if crystallizing is the proper word, but I think it looks like magic when it happens. So I hope you can see that. Oh yeah, so it's kind of glistening and getting a little bit shiny, and that's what happens with the embossing powder. And when the heat tool is warmed up and ready to go, it lessens the puckering of the paper. I'm not really sure why that happens, but I learned it from Jennifer McGuire, and she's the expert, and I just tried it, and she's indeed correct. So here I'm going to just adjust the letters a little bit tighter. As you probably already know, I'm not much of a perfectionist. I tend to just go with it, and then I figure out for next time if I've made any mistakes. So here is where I stamp down, and I'm going to grab this Post-it note. It was the one that Jack had drawn on, and I stamped the date on it. I kept it because it looks like a little face, and you can use any Post-it note. It does not have to be decorated by your child, or if you don't have one, just use a plain scrap piece that you can kind of gently stick down to cover up the portion that you don't want to have embossing powder sprinkled on. So I'm pouring this blue onto the ampersand and then shaking it off, removing the Post-it, and then I want to take this teal color and sprinkle on the bottom. Now I don't mind if the teal goes into the ampersand a little bit because I wanted to see how that mixing of embossing powder colors would look, and it turns out it looks pretty cool. I need a little bit more on the end there, so I'm going to shake off the rest. After the heat gun's already warmed up, then I am going ahead and heating up the rest of this. So it looks pretty cool, and I love how you can see it changing forms. So now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and fold it over and grab some of my bits from Better Together and just play around with how I want everything positioned. So I think that's what is really fun about embellishments and decorating, is that you can move stuff around, see what fits. And then another thing you can do is I've got these simple stories Carpe Diem stickers, but I just want the to part of it because I want to say let's go to Miami and Naples. And I'm just cutting it so that I can have just the perfect amount of white around the O to make it look like the sticker was actually made that way. You could of course use alphabet stickers or your writing, but I just wanted to tweak this a little bit so that it kind of flowed, and I like the color, like the writing and everything. So I think there's too much gap between the NAP and the LES, especially compared to the Miami. I like the way that looks, but maybe I can find something or do something to fill in that little gap because I just think it looks a little strange. I'm not loving this right now yet, because I think that it needs a lot of room to grow. There are some times where minimally I think that the cover looks awesome and the project could be done, but most of the time I like to over embellish. I'm not sure how people do it. There are some great artists out there, scrapbooking people and graphic designers, who can take the simplest things and make them look amazing. Well, I like to complicate things a little bit and use up stickers and stamps and use my supplies really. So I'm just going to stick some random stickers throughout the cover. Just keeping with the same brand or color scheme really helps to tie it all in and keep it cohesive. If you're using collections, typically they're already matching, which is great. I enjoy mixing and matching as well, and these lines go together, and I wanted to add a little puffy element, and I thought I was going to add more, but then I decided that I wanted to play with these markers a little bit, add a little bit of texture to the paper and interest by just drawing some simple lines going across. Now I've got these Carpe Diem bits. You know how much I love die cut shapes. These are really easy and fun to use. Going through, just picking out the ones that I think are great. This arrow will be perfect, I think, to cover up my little gap there that was really bugging me. This is actually the moment that I started really liking the cover. And I think that as you go along and as you create, give yourself permission to not like it for a little bit, you know, and just keep going. That's the main thing, is not letting it stop you. And I'm not a big fan of tearing things up. I know some people just get so frustrated and don't like something, they rip it. And I don't like doing that. I like to build on what is there. For scrapbooking especially, you can always cover it up with a sticker or more pattern paper or something. As you finally hit your creative groove, I think it's something that's really important to just recognize that, you know what, you're not going to love every single thing you make, but you could embrace the creative process and recognize that, hey, this is actually working, or maybe I need to add some other things to it so that I do like it because I have spent time on it. I was looking at this and I realized that I wanted to add a few enamel dots for a little bit more dimension. So I've got these, they're from Spain, and they are so fun and the perfect colors, and now I am so happy with the final album cover. So thank you all so much for watching. It was so much fun having you come along with us to Miami and then coming back to the studio to make something together. Alright, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And as always, I love hearing from you, so leave any questions or comments below as well. Hope you're feeling inspired to get those creative juices flowing. Thanks for watching. Bye!
Mom,
Oh, here. Yes, no, something.